Hello! My name is Martin MacDonald and I've been working in SEO for about 20 years now. For the last 10 plus years, I've been talking about studying and researching SEO tools. About 5 years ago, I started building my own simply because I couldn't find one that did everything that I needed it to do. And we're here today so that I can introduce you to what I've built over the last 5 years. And if it's going to be of use to you and your company, exactly how you could start using it as well. Anyway, on with the features. So what exactly are those challenges that we face? Well, as SEOs, a big part of our job is ingesting crawl data and using that data to identify either actual errors with websites that can be fixed to make them perform better, or improvements that can be made to that website to make them more efficient or better targeted towards the keywords that we're trying to rank for. In that process, what we need to do is prioritize the actions that we're going to take. We need to implement those actions. We need to verify that they've been implemented correctly, and then we need to track what happens afterwards, the performance output of the things that we've been doing. SERPERE is designed to help us be more efficient in every stage of that, and also it's designed to not be as expensive as other SEO tool platforms that are already out there. So what are we going to look at today? Well, briefly, I'm going to go through a number of features in this video, but if you want to see a more comprehensive deep dive on any of these features, or indeed many more, just refer back to the website where I've uploaded individual videos going over lots of different functions. But for this demonstration, what we're going to look at is the rules engine, how that applies to crawl data, how we handle automated testing on all of our SEO work, and some other quick features in there just for fun, like for instance, regex. I personally despise regex. I don't think I've ever been able to write a regex filter that I haven't had to Google first, or in 2023, ask ChatGPT to help me with. So I wanted to come up with a better system that replicates all the functionality of regular expressions, but without the absolutely crazy syntax. The last thing that we're going to look at is how we handle keyword and page tagging, how we categorize them, and then how we build reports from then on. So without further ado, let's have a look first of all at how we handle crawl data. Okay, so how we handle crawl data. First thing, this is the homepage for SERPERE. This is the screen that you'll see every time that you log in. So we'll have a quick tour around this before I move on to the crawl data, but very, very quickly. You've got up at the top of the page the performance for all of the Search Console data that we have on record for you. Unfortunately, this demo site that I'm using is actually connected to my personal blog, which, as you can see, doesn't really get any traffic apart from the occasional post every now and then. So just to make this a little bit easier to see what it actually looks like in a real environment, here is some real world live data. Now, I love this graph because it allows you to do things like very quickly remove out individual tags of either keywords or pages, and then see it over whatever date range that you want to see. You can zoom in, you can look at it by month, you can look at it by quarter. It's a super cool feature. Anyway, so apart from the homepage traffic graph, if we move further down, we've got keyword tags and page tags for the last 30 days, what the distribution was between all of your different tags as far as the traffic that was received from Google is concerned. Underneath that, we have got our project management roadmap with all of the items that are being worked on. Each one of these are individual tickets, the majority of which did actually start with crawl data. So there's a couple of different ways that you create tickets, and we're gonna look at the ticketing system in a second. But crawl data is typically the way that you would start any ticket. You run a crawl, you find something that can be improved or something that's wrong, and then you create a ticket against those individual URLs. Carrying on down the homepage, we've got just some more kind of KPI stuff. You've got the top keywords, top winners and losers, top pages with the winners and losers, and then the issues found in the crawl with what's got better and what's got worse. But anyway, without any further ado, let's just move straight into the crawl screen. So the way to interpret this is each one of these horizontal lines, so you've got the white line, the blue line, the white line, each one of those is an individual crawl. You can see here on the left-hand side some kind of basic information about the crawl, how many pages were found, how long it took, what the percentage complete was. And then on the right-hand side, we've got all of our rules broken down into different categories and different severities, critical, high, medium, low, etc., etc., etc. So if you want to see all of the issues that were flagged for a specific crawl, very simple, just click on See All Crawl Issues, and you get the list here in front of you. Now, a couple of things to call out here. Firstly, again, this is just my demo test site, so unfortunately there's not a tremendous amount of things that are wrong with it. When you run this on a standard production site, you'll typically get 100, 120, sometimes 150 things that are opportunities that could be improved. On this screen, we have 3 different kinds of reports. You've got hints, which are literal SEO bugs that can be improved. You have got filters, which are really just there for information more than anything else. So if you want to set up a filter, which is a list of all of your internal URLs, you can set that up, or you can set up a list that just contains your title tags, for instance. Those filters are super useful if you want to do some kind of external reporting and export stuff out into Excel. Or alternatively, the filters are super useful within the rules themselves because you can compare multiple filters to each other and call that a rule. So for instance, you could have a rule of, all pages with more than X amount of followed linking URLs that are also in the list of pages that are below X amount of Core Web Vital score or something. I mean, the point is you can create limitless lists in here, and then you can combine them with each other to create rules. The other thing that we've got are insights, which these aren't particularly rules per se that have been broken, but they've been identified using performance data. So these are insights that you might use to improve your site, or just to have a better understanding of it. So those are basically the 3 different ticket types. Now, we're coming back to the hints, and let's have a look. Let's just choose here. DOM width exceeds the recommended of 60 nodes wide. That obviously is a page speed hint. I have it as a priority 2. There are 0 clicks and 173 impressions to 1 URL that has that issue. So let's actually choose one that has more pages. Okay, so has 1 or more outgoing followed links with non-descriptive anchor text. Let's look at that one. So these are all of the pages that have that issue. You can click through to any of the pages by clicking the first icon. You can see their source code by clicking the second. If you click through on the URL, you go to URL data. Then we have each one of the tags that have been set up for the page. The title, which I've left in just purely so that you can visually see what that page is, and then the performance data afterwards. Now, if you were to create a tag for just this one set of URLs, which are the URLs that were flagged by this rule on that date, then you can report on that tag, and you can report on that tag for any given date range. So what the practice here would be to fix the issue on these pages, and then when you recrawl, those issues will no longer appear in this list, or at the very least, the number of URLs will have greatly diminished. Then all you need to do is compare the list from the most recent crawl to the list of the previous crawl, and that will tell you 2 things. It will give you the list of URLs that were fixed and the list of URLs that are still broken. Those are so easy to put together into a report where you can see any performance impacts, whether that's impressions, whether that's clicks, even whether that's the number of keywords that an individual URL or a set of URLs ranks for. Reporting on the outcome of the stuff that you're doing in SERPERE is the whole point. This is why it's important. So let's run through an audit very quickly. We have got the ability to add items into audits here, quite simply by just clicking on them and then making sure you have an audit selected. And then once you've got an audit selected, just simply push that button there that says add items to audit, and it will automatically put those into it. Let's have a look and see what an audit actually looks like now. So under here, now, again, bear in mind that each one of these horizontal lines is an individual ticket, as we would call it. Now, If you're a large enterprise company, you probably use Jira, you probably use some other kind of productivity or ticket tracking software. This allows you to link the two platforms, so you can link directly to the URL where you have the ticket on the external platform, or you can just give it the tracking number, the Jira number. We have some other Jira-esque features in here. So for instance, I have the story points for any individual item, and we also have the impact and the difficulty. What those things help us do is have a look at a nice prioritization matrix so that we can see what it is that we should be concentrating on based on the severity, the impact, and the number of URLs that are affected. Now, for each one of these items, we have got a document issue button on the right-hand side, which brings us into essentially a little text editor that allows us to write up the ticket with all of the information that's needed, and then we can pass that ticket directly in a PDF format or in Word format to whoever you want directly from this application. The way that I like doing this with the individual audits really is to have an audit that might be for myself for things that are for me to fix, an audit for another team that's items for them to fix, and then say for instance a content audit that goes to the content team with items for them to fix. But in each one of those tickets, for each one of those audits, we have the list of URLs that are intended to be actioned on each and every one of them so that we can then enable automatic tracking immediately after we've found that those things have been fixed by importing more crawl data. Now, if you fixed them, and let's say you're not planning on importing any crawl data for a couple of weeks, that's completely fine. All you need to do is just manually set the tags to run and they'll produce themselves. That's how easy it is to produce reports directly within SERPERE. Okay, so I hate regular expressions. That's why I've put together an incredibly advanced set of search tools that work across both keywords and pages, and I'm going to give you a little bit of a demonstration now as to the kind of things that you can do with it. So what we're looking at right here is just over 10,000, just under 11,000 keywords that have come from Search Console for the last 28 days for this individual website. And we've already been through and tagged up loads of tags on these. What I'm going to do is I'm just quickly going to walk you through that procedure. So say, for instance, we wanted to find all of the keywords that were related to, I don't know, helmets. I'm going to type helmet in, press return. And we have 1,746 keywords that are related to helmets. Let's say, for instance, I wanted to find trousers as well. So I'm going to add trouser into there. And because I want to add this search rather than search again, what I'm going to do is press extend down at the bottom. And now you'll see that I have 1,934 URLs. Keywords, sorry. So that number is going up. Let's try something a little bit different. Let's go into find mode and let's find local. So these are all the keywords that are tagged up as local keywords. And as you can see in the tags here, we've got, well, all of these keywords have got brand. They also have towns local, and this one has informational. Brand, towns local, informational. There's one down here. There you go, brand cities local. So you can see there's tons of brand in here, especially as I scroll down. It's mainly brand. And we have 736 keywords right now, as you can see in the bottom right-hand side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to exclude all the brand keywords from this list. So I'm going to go to find mode again. I'm going to type in brand. I'm going to press omit, and then I'm going to press constrain. What that does is it's telling SERPERE that we want to omit all of the things that are brand and constrain this found set. So we're now down to just the 558 local keywords that do not contain a brand name. And again, if you wanted to tag all of those, super simple, create a new tag, call it local non-brand local keywords that do not contain a brand term. And we're going to say yes, we want to tag those, and we're going to hit apply. So This actually happens in the background now. It doesn't actually lock the platform out. When you press OK, we've got 558 keywords. That'll take about 30 seconds to tag all of them. So there we go. They're already tagged. You can now see that we've got local non-brand. And if you ever want to come back in the future and just find those ones, then all you need to do is go into find mode and type literally what you're searching for in local non-brand, and there you go. That is that same set of keywords. Now, what else can you do with regular expressions that you cannot do with a standard keyword or a standard page search? One of those things is searching for long series of different items within the same search. So for that functionality, I have built the Power Search tool. So we come into Power Search, and what we're going to do is, I haven't got any sets configured in this particular instance. Okay, so once you've got into the Power Search tool, you can choose to save different lists so that you can refer to them in the future, and therefore they'll appear in that drop down. But because we haven't got any saved in this instance right now, I'm just going to paste in a list of every one of the towns in the United Kingdom. So there are 994 different towns in this list that I have just pasted in. And there are, there was just under 11,000 keywords. So we're going to search those 11,000 keywords 994 times and then put together into one group all of the keywords that contain a town or a city name. And I was waiting for it to appear, but it happened that quickly. Literally as soon as I pressed search, they all appeared. So you've got a visual demonstration right there as to how quick and easy it is to filter massive sets of keywords with any other massive set of values. There's other things you can do in here as well, though. So what I'm going to do is I'm just quickly going to pull some lists from another instance so that we can do some demos very quickly on different lists. Okay, so I have just grabbed a list, and this list is of transactional or commercial keywords. I'm going to hit perform search now. That again has now searched 11,000 keywords for just the commercial terms and ended up with 343 of them. So as you can see, super quick to put together any keyword report in SERPERE. I am just scratching the surface of the different ways that you can search and the different ways that you can manipulate data. There's going to be tons more videos here going into every one of the features on this page because it really enables you to be incredibly efficient in your keyword analysis. And just wait until you see the videos on the keyword research tool as well, because all of these things play into the keyword research side of things. I've been working on this platform now for over 5 years, and it has served me and it's served the clients of my agency very well over that time. It has become the central platform that we use for all enterprise SEO at Mog Media, but it can't grow any further with just me stewarding it. So I really need to open it up now to the community and to get other professional SEOs on board and to carry on giving me feedback and to carry on feeding back into the roadmap and to drive this platform forward. Basically, I think we've got a huge opportunity here because none of the rest of the SEO tool suites are staffed by people that have got a 20-year history in running SEO campaigns for large brands. This gives us a unique opportunity. I am in the unique position where I speak developer fluently and I speak SEO fluently. So we can put together something here that challenges the status quo for the rest of the SEO platforms that are out there and does it at a price that the others simply can't compete with. How are we going to do that? Well, when you look at other companies out there that are providing these tool suites, companies like, I don't know, say BrightEdge, have more than 500 staff. When you're paying the $5,000 a month or the $10,000 a month that some of my clients have been paying to BrightEdge in the past, you are paying for those 500 staff's wages. How many of those staff are sales? Well, with BrightEdge, probably quite a lot. But it's not just that. The rest of the SEO tool companies burn money in incredible ways, paying for influencers to go on holidays places just to take selfies and say how good the product is, sending limitless swag out to anybody that will say nice things about them on social media. There's a tremendous amount of expenses in all of these SEO tool suites that are not directly related to the SEO tool themselves. I want to change that, and I want to make a tool that serves the purposes of real enterprise SEOs. So if you want to help me on that journey, I will be so grateful. I'm looking to start with a really limited number of partners, maybe 5 or 10, something like that. Honestly, I'll be really, really happy if we get to 10. My original expectation when I put out a month ago that I was working on an SEO tool and for you guys to sign up for information, I was kind of hoping that I'd get 35 or 40 people sign up, but I had many, many, many times more than that, which is actually the reason that this second video is coming out like a month later, is because I wanted to make sure that the platform was absolutely ready for people to come on board. So if you think that this sounds like a good match for your business, and if you think that SERPERE could be useful to you, and you want to be part of that first cohort of early access users, I've got a 5-step plan for us to go through. Now, you will find on SERPERE.AI the current beta test pricing. That is set out in 2 ways. It's set out on a monthly basis for small and medium-sized sites, and on a yearly basis for small and medium-sized sites. You'll notice in the pricing that there isn't actually a discount between the monthly pricing and the yearly pricing. But the reason for that is that the yearly pricing comes with a lot more. You get 50% more crawl time. You get one-on-one meetings with me moving forward. You get strategy meetings. You get setup meetings. And that's really to reflect the value that you are giving me by joining the platform at this point in time. So even at the monthly cost, right now, that kind of, it doesn't cover historic expenses. It'll cover running expenses for the time being. And ultimately, the price of the platform is probably going to be higher than this beta price. But for now, what you're seeing on the website is what's available. If this is of interest to you, please sign up. If you'd like to have more of a demo, you can click on the book a live demo link in the top of the website as well. And we can have a conversation face-to-face, and we can go over the different parts of the tool and the different scenarios that you would like to use it in. Any questions on any of this, please just leave me a comment here underneath the video, send me a tweet to @searchmartin, and I really look forward to speaking to you guys and getting this platform off the ground. Anyway, with that, thank you very much. Thanks for listening this far, and look forward to speaking to you. Cheers.